Hello, Khalizan. How are you?
Hi Vesa, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you keeping up with the RMO and all?
I'm enjoying it basically.
Oh,
I don't feel like going out to work anymore. This is going to be a problem later on.
yeah. And as you were chatting earlier just now, like life is not going to be the same, right? How we do things everywhere.
Absolutely. I don't think it's going to be the same anymore basically.
Right. Interesting. Maybe we'll hear more about that also later on, right, in the show.
Okay.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming in. Just say hi, hello,
Hello
uh,
guys.
send your love and your thumbs up, and also Khalizan will know also, and he will also just say hello to back to you. Okay, right. So while we do that, we will also get our live link soon, Khalizan. Anand will help to. He has already just put up the LinkedIn live link. You can actually just copy it and paste it if you want to. He'll also put up the Facebook live link soon. All right. Um, And okay, while we are waiting, we let me just introduce who is Khalizan, right? So, and our story today. So, when the COVID-19 crisis came in, every leader in the world, every leader in SMEs, MNCs, everyone responded in a different way, right? Responses varied from clear, calculated ones to panic, some of them, and some of them with a very laid back, easygoing response, right?
Yeah,
So
correct.
today we're going to hear from industry leader Khalizan, who has been in the leadership position for very long in various big corporations, right? He doesn't want to share about all the different backgrounds here because there's some privacy stuff. He's always on LinkedIn. You can always look him up in LinkedIn. He's always giving some good opinions and something very different. Okay, he is also a very keen eye on how the government operates. Right. So if you have any questions to Khalizan, you can always post it anytime we are here on the live, so that he can have the answer later on in the talk, right? So he has actually prepared a good side of uh, slides, a good set of deck, and he will also present it, and he will be sharing a lot deeper on how leaders perform during this time. Okay, Khalizan, I hope I did some justice to who you are.
More
All right,
than just become injustice really lah.
more than justice because okay, and he's okay. So Edward Tai from Facebook says good evening, and
Hello
Honey says
everyone.
hi. Honey,
I
you know who's
see
Honey, right?
honey. Yep.
Okay, so let's get going, and over to you, Khalizan. Let me just put up the slides first. Okay, here we go. Okay, so shall we do without the slides first? You want
Can
to share?
we can see the slide, it's okay one.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Over to you, Khalizan.
Okay. Leadership is a very important part of our survival in life, basically, in this modern life. You cannot do without leadership, right?
Okay.
But so far, we have never been tested. This is called an acid test, An acid test, you pour the acid on the diamond or whatever to see whether it's a real diamond or not. So that is an
Yeah.
acid test. Here, before we test our leaders by testing them in the world of economics, for example, how they can build the nation or how they can improve our education. All these processes take time for us to see the results. So if you've got poor leadership, you can survive for a while. And your good leadership, so you don't see the results immediately. But nowhere near the kind of challenge that we face now with COVID, Within weeks, if your leadership is poor, you see how a US, from 7,000 infected people, they grew to over 100,000 infected people in just 10 days. This is a real test of your leadership, okay? And COVID requires coordination, cooperation, communication. It's not something that people on the street can do by themselves. This is something that requires somebody to play the conductor of the orchestra. It's really a test of leadership. That's what I'm saying. Okay, and COVID now put leaders in real test lah. If you're good, we can see that you can sustain. You're not good, immediately we can see that you're not good. There's no talking. It's not anybody's opinion. It's the virus. Will tell you, so that's what it is, basically. That's how suddenly meaning of leadership suddenly comes out with the limelight in handling this COVID crisis. We're actually talking about the survival of the human race, but basically, with this.
Right. Shall we go to the next one?
Okay, so leadership is definitely not a position.
Right.
You have to create value. As a leader, you have to create value. There must be a reason why you're a leader. Okay. So
Right.
Can we go back to the previous slide?
And then one slide at the back, please.
This one, So the biggest shortage a nation can have is not a shortage of food or shortage of manpower, not enough money. So it's not the first thing, The most important thing that a nation must have is a leader. And the biggest shortage a nation can have is when a nation does not have good leaders.
Right.
Same applies not only to nations, but also to your organization.
Right.
If you're a businessman, for example, the biggest shortage of business can suffer from is if you don't have good leaders. Okay, you might be a good leader, but you don't have a good succession plan, or you don't have a good development plan for the leaders in your sub organizations. It will come up. It will come up just like in COVID. It will come up one day. Same thing if you're working for government companies or whatever.
Right.
This is the biggest shortage that an organization can have. You don't have good leaders, basically.
Right.
Okay, can we look at the next slide now? Number one slide.
Okay. Go back to the first one.
Number one, the chess one, the chess pieces.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
So first of all, leader is not a position, I think you have seen the movie Pirate of the Caribbean.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, Jack Sparrow.
Yes.
Jack Sparrow is a real leader. He's a natural leader, basically. Right. There's one scene in the Pirates where he had lost everything. The only thing he had not lose is himself. There's only himself only left. There's no other people. Only himself, one fellow only.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he only got one raft. The raft got he has a sail, and then he has a bird's nest on top of it. It's just him and the raft only. That's all.
Yes.
Yeah,
I remember that one.
I remember that one.
Yes.
But he was still a leader, in that position.
Right.
See? So that is to me, that is a true leader. That Jack Sparrow is an epitomization of a real leader, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So leader is not your position. It's not because somebody appoint you as a leader or whatever. In a crisis, for example, especially in a burning building or whatever, some people have never hold a leadership position can actually come up to become a real leader in such an emergency.
Right.
Okay, so those are the natural leaders, the real leaders,
Right.
So let's look at the chess piece. In the chess piece, you have the king.
Right.
The king is a leader by position.
Yes.
Okay. And then you have all the other pieces, like, for example, the knight. The knight can jump, He can jump 4 squares at one time. He can jump over other people. Other people cannot jump over other people. He can jump over other people.
Right.
He is a real leader, this knight. In fact, when you play chess, you actually use the knight a lot in the middle game and in the beginning game.
Right.
Okay. To control your position, the positions on the chessboard.
Right.
Whereas the king is one useless fellow, in chess. The king is one useless fellow. He can only move one step at a time. Right? And then everybody got to everybody's life, the purpose of everybody is just to protect him.
Yes, true.
Does that describe your organization or not? Are the leaders in your organization there so that other people can protect them? If the leaders in your organization are there just so that other people live to protect them, you end up like chess lah. You know how to end up like chess. The chess board, when you start, you have how many? 1632 pieces you have. You have
Yes.
pawns, you have all the various thing, and then you have the
Right.
king and queen.
Yes.
So one country rule over one side, one country rule over every side. Everybody was nine.
Yes.
Then the game start lah. The
Right.
game start. So this side also trying to defend his king. This side also trying to defend his king.
Right.
It's just a matter of trying to defend your king.
Yes.
What happens at the end of the game? You know, at the end of the game, normally, okay. First of all, one country is out lah.
Yes.
There's only one more king left, and then
Right.
this king normally have only one pawn, two pawns, one knight, one rook. You know, it's normally queen also gone already.
Right.
So, but of course, that king owns the whole chessboard lah. 64 squares he own lah. Just now he has to. Now he own already. But what's the point? Everybody die already. The only thing left, you can live lah, but who also around you? Only one or two fellas only, or your yes man only.
Right.
So that is what happens when your organization, the purpose of the organization is only to protect the leader.
Okay.
It's not about expanding the society or improving anything.
Right.
So that is a question that you have to ask yourself. Does that describe my organization or not? Does that describe my country or not? Does that describe my whatever lah, your club or your cooperative or your whatever? So if that describe that is going to be the end game lah. Remember, that's going to be the end game. One day reach that point. Okay.
Nicely said. Yeah.
Okay. I also want to mention one important thing.
Yeah.
We need good leaders.
Yeah.
But we also need good followers. Remember that. We need good followers, you know. What is the definition of a good follower? Okay.
Okay.
Now, the competitiveness of a country or a company or a business or a club or whatever lah, neighborhood, you know, how good that place is depends on how much you use knowledge in that context. Now it's all about knowledge economy, you know lah, everybody talk also knowledge economy lah, this, that, all knowledge. It's also a knowledge society, you know, it's not just a knowledge economy.
Right.
It is also a knowledge-driven society. Okay.
That's true.
Let's say we are not interested to be number one. It's okay. You're not interested to be number one, but you have to cope with your neighbors, you know. Everybody is moving up. You cannot just stay behind.
Right.
You still, even if you don't want to be number one, you must also follow other people lah. So Indonesia is going up already. Thailand going up already. Cambodia, people say is going to overtake Singapore already.
Right.
So we must cope, you know, with this kind of situation.
Right.
Even if you don't want to be number one, but of course, you don't want to be number one, better lah. So it has to be a knowledge-driven, not only knowledge-driven economy, it has also to be a knowledge-driven society.
Right.
Okay? Remember that, knowledge-driven society.
Right.
So the leaders of the country must respect that the society now is a smart society, you know.
Right.
Cannot be like before the last time, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you can treat people like they're stupid. No more.
Right.
Last time people were smart also, they're not stupid. But you can treat them like stupid, they will keep quiet only. Now no more. Now you treat them like stupid, they come back and then they ask questions. Alright. So on the part of the followers,
right,
you must be demanding on the leaders. Even if I'm the leader, you have to be demanding on me.
Okay.
Only then, if I respect that you are clever, okay, and I take into account that you are clever, then our country can become a knowledge-based society. Remember, knowledge-based, you know. So you must respect that our people are knowledgeable.
Right.
And our people must also make sure that the leaders respect you, that you are knowledgeable.
Yes.
Then our country can become a knowledge-based society. Then only we can, if we don't want to compete with others, so we can cope up with others.
Right.
So luckily, this present government seems to be respecting that lah, you know.
Right.
Because initially, for example, I was also quite not happy lah with the way they announced the and thing. But now they are in a more intelligent way. And then the stimulus The first stimulus,
Right.
I was laughing at it, like, $500, and then taking out of my savings some more. I mean, you're you're insulting our intelligence. So, but
Yes,
then they
yes,
come up with another one, and it's
right,
more meaningful. Put the money where the money is needed. Yeah, people are
right,
drowning.
right.
You don't teach them
Yes,
to swim. People are drowning. You help them to don't drown first. Then really you help them to swim.
right, right, right.
So it's an intelligent response, and this is
Yes,
important. This
right,
intelligent response to the society. Everybody got to respect each other. The government got to
mm,
respect the society that you are intelligent. And if,
right,
let's say, for example, the government does not respect your intelligence, you got to tell them also. We are
mm,
intelligent, and we are not going to be treated like before.
right,
If you look at the way the Korean president
right,
explained the COVID outbreak, they handled it very well initially. Yeah.
right.
Uh, so this is what she said. She said we have no, number one, she's very intelligent. Okay, the way she answered the
Mm,
question is very intelligent, and
okay.
then she also showed things on the screen that people don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said our people are very demanding.
Right.
She said our people are very demanding.
Mm,
That is a very important statement by a leader.
right.
Once a leader acknowledge that our people are very demanding, that is
Yes.
already an important step forward.
Yeah. It's an acknowledgement, right?
Yeah. Then your
Mm,
society can proceed as a knowledge-driven society.
right.
So it's very important that we have a knowledge-driven society, and leaders got to respect this, and we should also tell them that we are demanding. Uh,
Mm,
that's it lah, basically.
right. Right. Yeah. So once you acknowledge your own country that you have intelligent people who are
Yes,
demanding, it's a
yes,
good sign now as a leader, right?
correct. It's
Yeah.
a good sign as a leader, and in fact, our leaders are doing that lah. Basically, I think the MOH is doing a very good job out of it, especially
Yeah. The
Dato'
DG, right?
Hisham. Dato' Hisham is really. First of all, he's always been a hardworking fella.
Mm,
He was interested in pain-free hospitals initially, and
right.
then he was trying out new things. He was trying acupuncture to
Right.
replace anesthetic. But at the
Right.
same time, even though he's an administrator, he never
Right.
left surgery. He's known as a endocrinologist. I want to
Oh,
pronounce it so difficult. He's a very well-known endocrinologist.
is he still practicing?
Huh?
Is he still practicing?
Yeah, he practiced. Even before, so he
Wow.
practiced. Now, so he practiced. Even as
Wow. Wow.
the DG for a long time, even then also he practiced, in Putrajaya Hospital.
Wow.
So this is very important. A leader who does not stop being what the follower does.
Right.
So he's still there in the trenches. He's up there in the control room, but he's still there in the trenches. This is very important.
Yeah.
That's why to me that's why he's good lah. He's good
Mm,
because he still have that attachment to what people actually do on the ground.
right. Right. Right.
And I think
That's
Meridian is
very
doing a good job lah. Basically, he's conducting this whole concert. I think it's a very good job. He he
mm,
he he. Now we don't hear anymore about too much politics. Suddenly, in I think about 2 weeks, all the
yes.
thing is gone already. Last time, a lot of politicking. We
Exactly.
don't do anything else. We just politic. We can eat the politic lah. So
Yeah.
suddenly
Exactly.
everything is gone already. No more politics, no more
Yeah.
nothing. Let's work
Yeah.
together and get this done over. I think that's very important. That's very
Right.
important. And moving forward, life is not going to be the same anymore. You look at the
Mm-hmm.
character of this coronavirus. Life is not going to be the
Right.
same anymore. We
Yes.
need to restructure the whole economy all over again.
Right.
Okay, so you still need that leadership in place to do all that. Okay, so we look forward lah to our leaders to lead us forward in this manner.
Yeah. 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 I think, like you said, that DG is doing a really, really good job. He really updates, and I think he's really on the roll there, lah, on the ground, on the trenches. Getting to know the real data,
Hmm.
and they're planning it very well. Also, the way they predict the data, and then they are anticipating things ahead of time. With
Exactly. This is something we don't see in the past. We
yeah,
don't see much of this in the past, where
mm,
our leaders are instead of talking so much, our leaders are actually proactive.
yeah,
See, we are anticipating the third wave
mm,
already. within a few weeks, no, a few weeks ago, we see all these videos lah. The doctor cutting up their own plastic bag lah, go and put on his face.
Yes,
You know,
yes,
their
yes,
own thing. This is just a few weeks ago.
yes.
Now we have already increased the number of hospitals that can cater for COVID. Already
Right.
done one. And
Yes.
then we also have 7 hospitals that are dedicated to COVID. 7 hospitals.
Right.
And someone is
Right.
opening up temporary shelter here lah, temporary there lah. You know, you go to hospital, they are opening tents in front already, and then they're taking
Yes.
over that place in near Putrajaya there.
Yes.
So the thing has not happened yet, but they're already preparing for it.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. I mean, and the way they go so fast. And I also got to know about 19,000 extra beds they're already preparing for in anticipation of any potential bigger outbreak, right?
Correct. This is what we need lah, actually. You know, this is what
Yeah.
actually, and the strength to tell people the bad news. Okay, this is bad news. Basically, I want to extend the lockdown. Okay, I want to extend it. Whatever you call it, SMO, RMO, whatever. I want to extend it. Bad news to people. No, people say, "Hey, we cannot earn money lah." You know, economic.
Yes.
But it has to be done. Whatever has to be done. That is a leader's role, you know.
Right.
The leader's role.
Exactly. I think we have responded so much better compared to countries like US, UK, Australia, right?
So I think the comparison to US, Italy, and all that, a lot of people want to be leaders, okay? But in order to become a leader, first of all, you must prepare yourself. You must pay the price first. You want to become a leader. You must be knowledgeable, okay?
Yeah.
You must be knowledgeable. You must know. Then you must also have experience how to handle it. The third thing, you must have your value system intact, you know. You see, for example, the first batch of people who really brought a lot of this infection around.
Yeah.
They are sending out videos right now. Not right now, I think past 1 or 2 weeks they've been sending this video.
Yeah.
What are the people saying? The people say, oh, when we did the gathering that time, they didn't declare the pandemic yet.
Yes.
Okay, you have 16,000 furloughs in one building.
Yeah.
Okay, over a period of 4 days.
Yeah.
And Wuhan already got that outbreak. And you know how it is. Don't tell me out of your 16,000 there's no doctor or anything like that. No engineers, no mathematician or professor or whatever. Nobody can got enough brains in 16,000 people.
Right.
You don't have to wait for people to say it's the pandemic.
Right.
You know the risk already,
Yeah.
Right? So don't come out with those kind of excuses lah. Okay?
Yeah.
Even if they were to say they're sorry, it's too late already. The thing is happened. But maybe say or sorry lah. I never heard any one of them say they're sorry, no. Their value system is not there. Publishing videos and all that, they don't have the value system installed yet. You see, so these are the failures of people who want to be leaders when they are not ready to be leaders. They don't have the value system, they don't have knowledge, nonsense, you know. Like they haven't declared pandemic, so we can do lah. Oh, like that one must declare pandemic first before you stop doing. You think for yourself lah. You know, that leadership. You see, leadership. Can we go to the next slide? I show you what leadership is.
Yes.
What is a leader? Okay. I ask you, what is a singer? A singer is a person who sings, right?
Yeah. Correct.
So, you say, what is a sweeper? Road sweeper. Sweeper, what does he do? He sweep lah.
He sweeps. Yeah.
Correct or not? So, so what is the leader? Lead lah. Very simple one. Lead. Right. Like that lah. Singer must sing. Sweeper must sweep. Leader must lead lah.
Yes.
So, I think it's from the Quran lah, basically.
Yes.
This is a command from God, you know. So God said, hey, you take your people from darkness into light. This is a command from God. I say, remember, God is the person who created us, you know. So he said, you take the people, they are living in darkness, take them into light.
Okay.
And teach them to remember the days of Allah lah. The days still, this one is, if you look at the book of Exodus in the Bible, after they managed to escape from Egypt, then God say lah, every Saturday you must do Sabbath to show that you're thankful. And then
Yes.
once a year you must do this what you call that Passover to remember back, and Jesus was actually if according to the Christianity, Jesus was actually crucified on the Passover lah.
Yes.
So so number one, the leader must lead lah. Basically, that's what it is. No need to say lah, leader communicate lah, leader coordinate. No, number one is leader must lead. Like that, leader must lead. You see the fish there, the fly in front, that fly is the leader lah, like that lah. That's the leader. Okay. So that another thing that is hidden here that you don't see
Yes.
is that a leader actually live a two life one. You know, you ask a lot of leaders, they actually live a dual life. One your public life, one your private life. Okay. A leader cannot live in a vacuum. That's your public life. You have to be in touch with your followers. You have to know what they're suffering and how to come over this kind of stuff.
Right.
At the same time, a leader must live in a vacuum. You know. What does that mean? So you look at the coin. A coin got last time we call it head or tail, we call sing or kong lah.
Yes. Correct.
So one is your public life, where you in a public life you live. You cannot live in a vacuum. You must live with your followers and all that.
Right. Right.
Now, on your private life, you have to live in a vacuum. What does that mean?
Yeah.
That
What
means
does that mean?
you as a leader, you have no other leader. No, you as a leader, you are the one who has to lead yourself. No other leader. So you must know what to do. You can have advisor.
Right.
Okay. A lot of people say this leader is not good because his advisors are not good.
Right.
Okay, so if you as a leader, you need to have advisors who are good. You might as well don't become your leader. You ask your advisor to become leader. That is also a responsibility of the leader. No, if you know that you're not good, you step down, let somebody else. This is also a responsibility as a leader.
Right.
Okay. So you have to live in a vacuum means when there is no knowledge, like this COVID, for example.
Right.
It's a new phenomena, new virus,
Yes.
highly mutable. They can mutate so fast, one.
Right.
How is it going to mutate? What are the kind of thinking that you have to put into it? You know,
Right.
for example, you might think lah, this guy is highly mutating. So we think now all our calculation is based on 14 days, 14 days, 14 days, 14 days. What if we are wrong? Why not 14 days? Why suddenly that fella become 30 days, for example?
Right.
So nobody going to teach you that thing, you know. You must
Yes.
sit down and you must think for yourself, you know. Or for example, right now the infection rate can vary lah from, let's say 5% to 10% or 30%, for example, something like that. 1 in 2, 1 in 3, 2.5 over 5 days lah, all kind of things.
Right.
But what if suddenly that fella increase to 30%, 100, don't know, 1 in 5, for example.
Right.
Or instead of over 5 days, over 3 days. So you know, because the fella is keep on mutating, right?
Yes.
So nobody can teach about this thing. So the leader is living in a vacuum where he has no one to teach. He must know where to find this information. He must know what he need to think about. So this is the meaning of the leader must also live in a vacuum. And a lot of leaders actually live in a vacuum. Who are the great leaders in human society? You see the fellow who built the Great Pyramid, the pyramid in Giza. This is one of the greatest monuments in the world. Or the person who built the Great Wall can see from space. This Great Wall so big, people can see from space. Xi Huangdi, that is his name.
Right.
You see, remember, is one of the greatest leaders until now. No, he's no more impact on us. Xi Huangdi, you know history, but no more impact on us anymore.
Right.
And who built the pyramid? Khufu or whatever, nobody knows also, you know. Not a lot of people know it's Khufu lah, then Khafre, his son built the Sphinx. Nobody knows this kind of thing.
Right.
The biggest leaders in the world, what did they sell last time? They sell something that you cannot see. So the biggest leaders are who, you know, Muhammad, Jesus, Moses, Buddha. These are the people who sell something that you cannot see, you know. Okay. The point is that why are they leaders? Until now we follow them. They are not here anymore until we follow them, you know.
Right.
We don't follow Xi Huangdi anymore nowadays. We only see, he built this one, a great guy.
Yeah. True.
Okay, why? Because they are driven by values. Okay? They are driven by the unseen. the connection to God, the connection to the creator, the connection to the sustainer. So in order for you to be a leader, or you want to recognize that your leader is good or not, you must first have inside yourself, what do you live for? What is your purpose of living? His name, he wrote a book, Begin with Why or something like that. Start with why. Ask the why question first, okay? So if you want to start business, for example, you don't start with a business plan, you come up with the, why am I doing this first?
Simon Sinek.
Simon Sinek. So you must lead yourself first, Number one, you must lead yourself first. For example, when I went to college, I studied management lah. So the first thing that they taught in management is the definition of management. What's the definition of management? Definition of management is how to get things done to other people.
Okay.
Immediately, that statement, koyak, I didn't know. Because if everybody become like that, I depend on you to do. I'm not going to do myself. I depend on you how to get other things done for other people. You also depend on me. Then we also depend on somebody else. Who's going to do the work? Management begin with managing yourself first. You have to manage yourself first. Don't talk about managing through others. You have to manage yourself first. Then you can manage others. So same thing with leadership also. You have to lead yourself first. So you must know, first of all, yourself. Why do you exist? Okay, because of my experience, since I was young, my mission is, because I know this area I'm good lah. Some area I'm not good. You ask me to cook or you ask me to sing or whatever, I cannot dance. But this area I'm good. So my mission is to end economic slavery. So if you look at Facebook, for example, for those people on Facebook, I invite you to look for a Facebook group called Economics. There are about 100,000 members in the group. You have professors, you have policymakers, you have government people, you have also simple folks, housewife lah, taxi driver, students, and out of that 100,000, they will elect about 12 people to become the moderators, whom they see fit lah. So I've been a moderator there for about 8 years already.
Wow.
So because my mission is, I want to put an end to economic slavery. So economic slavery is very strongly tied to leadership. So to talk about a bit about economic slavery in this topic about leadership lah, basically.
Yes, please.
What is economic slavery? Okay. Let's say there are 2 of us lah. Let's say there are 100 of us. 100 of us. Then 2 of us and another 98 some more. Now one fellow is our leader lah. One fellow is our leader. So we also appreciate that guy because he's more clever than us. He got vision. He can see forward. We cannot see. He can see. He knows how to do something. We don't know how to do. So never mind, he can become leader lah. So as a leader, we give him a bit of luxury lah. We give him a bit of prerogative and all this kind of stuff. So now makan time. Now makan time already. So all of us get one plate of rice. You get one plate of rice. I get one plate of rice. He get one plate of rice. Everybody get one plate of rice. So there's a 100 plate of rice lah. All right. So he said, I as your leader, I want a bit of your rice lah. He asked me so I said, never mind lah, you take half lah. Okay lah. I suffer a bit lah. It's okay, I hungry a bit but I need you because you know how to lead me. I don't know what to do. So you take half my plate. So he take half lah. So now he got how much? He got 1 plate and a half. Then he goes to you. He said, you also give lah. So you also give another half. So he got 2 plates. He got 2 plates. I got half, you got half lah. So we a bit lapar lah. Maybe not enough for our children, not enough. So we eat a little bit lah. Not enough for nutrition, not enough to become clever. Then he go to the third person, he asked half also. So now eventually he got 10 plate. So maybe 2 plate he can eat lah. Then 3 plate he can eat. 10 plate so maybe lah, out of proportion, but maybe against the odd he can eat also lah. Suddenly he got 50 plate, he cannot eat it, 20 plate he cannot eat it. Plate cannot eat, but still he's asking. That is it. Then he put in place a system where every day this one happens again and again and again. Become to us, become to our children. Now it has become beyond greed. This is not greed anymore. This is evil already. Because to me, if you are a leader, you want a bit of extra. To me, it's okay one. This is your payment lah, your reward. I encourage that you're my leader. You take a little bit more. It's okay one. But Don't take from everybody so much until everybody is impoverished. You just keep people alive because you need to have your slave. If people die, means you don't have a slave anymore. So you keep
Right.
people alive, barely alive, you know.
Okay.
And then the thing that you take also, you cannot finish already. You understand?
Right.
When it comes to the point, you cross the point between how much you can finish and how much you cannot finish already. You cross that point, now you become evil already.
Right.
This is the meaning of economic slavery.
Mm.
It's happening
Okay.
everywhere. Okay? So we have to put a stop to this. It's
Right.
wasteful. No point you
Right.
concentrate so much wealth over a few people. They also don't know how to spend, you know, this money.
Yes.
To the people, they need this money, you know, to
Right.
survive and to for the species to continue to evolve. We need to have smart people. We need to send people to university and all that. You know why? Because our earth is not going to expand. Our earth is just that big, only.
Yes.
People expand. Suddenly we have so many more people. We are killing our environment. We need to have the technology, you know, like this COVID. We need to have technology. We don't have technology. We don't have the medicine. We don't have the vaccine. We don't have the detection testing kit lah. All kind of nonsense. So we need that kind of technology. For example,
Right.
we need. So give back the money. Let people spend. You know, because we need that. Our world is becoming worse and worse. We need to have that kind of thing. Rather than
Right.
for you to keep. Cannot do anything with that also, you know.
Yes.
So at point, right? It's not
Right.
great.
Right.
So that is economic slavery lah, basically.
Right. Right. I definitely love to hear your points later on. Like, how do we end this economic slavery? I mean, what are the ideas to do this?
Yeah, I already answered you, we need people who are good followers. Not only we
Okay.
need good leaders, we need good followers. Followers who
Okay.
demand from their leader, hey, we are
Mm.
smart, you know. You don't have to demand so much. The number one you
Ah.
demand first is we are smart. You treat us
Okay.
like smart.
Right.
Even if I'm your leader, I will tell you that lah. So I'll be fair to whoever is our leader. I say if
Right.
I'm a leader, so it's okay, You do to me,
Right.
so it's okay.
Right.
Then only our society become knowledge-driven society.
Right. So when you say good followers, you mean intelligent followers who can question the leaders.
Demand lah, be demanding lah.
Yes.
Good followers, very simple. The thing is, be intelligent, be demanding.
Yes.
Now, sometimes
Right.
when followers are demanding, you also
Yeah.
get opposition who are stupid also lah.
Right. Right. Right.
They become over clever.
Right.
You see, in the world of finance, there's one lesson
Right.
you must remember, no? In the world of finance.
Right.
Very important lesson in the world of finance.
Right.
You must be clever in finance. You need to solve a lot of
Right.
problems. That you
Yes.
must be clever. But
Right.
don't be over clever.
Right.
Don't be over clever. You should know where is your limit.
Mm.
Don't become too greedy. It's very simple. You know how is the feeling of being greedy? You
Yeah.
play the stock market.
Yeah.
You see a lot of people happen like that, I know. Whenever the stock fall, suddenly they feel like committing suicide.
Yeah.
When the stock go up, suddenly they forget everything. They
Yeah.
lose their head. They become euphoric. They think the next bet also will go double. So you know, then
Yeah.
suddenly
Yeah.
they lose everything. They
Right.
lose everything because they become euphoric. You know,
Yes.
they
Yes.
cross that line already.
Emotional.
Emotional already.
Yeah.
So same thing also when you are doing financial dealing and all that. Suddenly you do
Right.
this. Jadi I can do some more. Let's
So
push
I'm good.
something else. Let's try to be
Yeah.
more creative. Let's do a bit
Right.
more creative financing lah. There's
Right.
creative
Right. Right.
financing. There's over creative financing also. So
Right.
don't be too clever. Same thing with politics.
Right.
One thing is we can demand our people to become clever and
Right.
become demanding.
Right.
Then some fellas will become over clever already.
Mm.
And then because they know how to talk, they know how to appeal to emotion, then they become leaders lah. They become
Right.
opposition leader.
Right.
They become leader, they become opposition leader.
Right.
When you are a demanding set of follower, it doesn't mean that you must be demanding on your ruling leader ni. This opposition, if you talk cock means you tell him you're talking cock. No?
Yes.
You say not? So
Exactly.
it doesn't matter which leader. Can be opposition leader, can be leader. People talk nonsense. You tell them, get down lah. You know, you're talking nonsense
Yes.
already lah.
Yes. 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 Demanding all around lah.
Yeah, that's right. Have to be demanding all around.
Okay.
Be demanding, reasonably demanding lah. Don't demand things that are, you know. That's another thing also, you know. I as a leader, I don't depend on my qualification or whatever. I don't. Even if I interview
Right.
people, I don't look at their resume. Even if
Right.
I go for interview, I don't bring my resume.
Right.
And And furthermore, I always go for interview wearing slippers. But it's free lah. But you see, the thing is that it's not what you wear, It's not what you strip naked, You strip naked. You strip your underwear. I also strip my underwear.
Right.
Let's see how you are. It's like that one. So you can lose everything.
Yes.
But you don't lose what you know. This is the important part. Okay. So a leader is actually what is intrinsically himself. This is very important. Okay, you cannot feign, you cannot pretend. You will come back to yourself, one. Come back to yourself. So if you get leaders like that, you should recognize this is a good leader, This we are looking at himself, he's like that one.
Right.
Like that lah. So be demanding always. Be demanding on the ruling leader, also be demanding on opposition. Whenever people talk me, they say, shut up lah,
Yes, yes.
Okay. So far, any questions from there?
Okay.
As an employee, I have my demand. However, my leader are not on the same page as me.
Right.
Biasalah. We are asked to follow only lah.
Right.
However, as an employee, we do not want only to follow je. We want to know everything and prepare for any consequences. It's like meraba dalam gelap. Is it too much for us to ask on how to do it or how to do it to our leader? Okay, this is the normal problem that we face lah in any employment.
Okay.
The answer is not so simple.
Right.
It's not just like you can suddenly come out and fight with your management.
Right.
Then you kena lah, right? You have to find ways lah. There's no clear answer. It depends on your organization. Let's say, for example, your tauke, you can talk to your tauke. You can talk to your tauke lah. Go and jump, go and talk to your tauke lah. Or maybe you can talk to him also. It depends on how you talk to him. Or you can gang up. You call 4 or 5 fellas, go and talk to him lah. Don't talk alone lah. Or the other one is you go and find another job lah, basically. Go and do something else lah. Because if that organization condone that kind of thing, I also done these kind of things. The tauke himself, he ruled by divide and conquer. He himself set up the politics inside his organization. And he controlled his organization by having 2 heads, 2 heads who are equally useless fellas. But one fella laga with that fella laga with this fella, and then he will, they become the head lah of they go and scheme all kind of things lah. So then I also leave. This place is toxic place lah. That fella, up to him lah. He can survive, lah. It's grace of God lah. But if something happen to him later on, he's asking for it lah. It's just that sometimes God takes time. That's all. The thing to remember is that the answer is not immediate. Okay.
Right.
You have to plan through your answer properly, talk to people, scheme your way through what's the best way to handle it lah, basically. Right. Like for example, I'm a very loud voice one. Very loud. I don't go and loud every day one, I go and lawan every day. I must pick your fight, don't have to fight, don't fight lah. Small things, no need to fight lah. But one big thing come, that time you come fighting lah, basically.
Yeah.
Like that lah.
Interesting. So some people actually design their organization in such a way that there's politics from the beginning itself.
You see that kind of, especially the owner. If the owner do that, you just cari makan ni lah, go and find a job lah. Until you cari makan, you find a job, just go lah. Sometimes some organization is a family business, Sometimes it can be big, sometimes small.
Right.
But business means they take their children lah, they take their wife lah, jaga account lah, then children, this one. This one is normally doesn't go very well one. I don't believe in. I always tell my friend, even my own friends who take their own children to work there. I tell you, you're going to spoil your children.
Right.
Oh no, I marah my children. Even my children not doing well, so I taruh them properly. No. It doesn't. It's not the same. Your parent shout at you and somebody else shout at you is different one. You should tell your children to go and work for somebody else. Go and find their own job. Don't ask them to work for your friend or don't ask them to work for your uncle or whatever. Ask them to go and find a job lah. And then ask them to work for 10 years. After 10 years, then you can take them and run your own business. But don't like those kind of business. If you give to your children early on, you already spoil your children. Then when they're 30 years old, 35 years old, they haven't learned anything. Other people already learned a lot of things. Your children have not learned anything. That time you maybe you have a lot of money lah, but once you die, that time gone already lah.
Right.
I got friends who lose like 10 million, 20 million, just because their parents never taught them, and then when they're running, they make all kind of decision. Then lose everything until die of heart attack. Got real story.
Okay. So Dato' Alia, Karin says hello. Advertise says hello.
Okay.
Okay, so these are some of them. And
sorry, I cannot. I cannot read. So I depend on Vyasa to tell me.
Yes. And then Advertise says he agrees with your statement that leadership starts with ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to be leader, prepare yourself first. Don't be too jumpy to become a leader. Just prepare yourself first. You see, number one, you must remember what is what. Water will find its own level.
Right.
How so the water will go, come to its own level. So if you're good, don't worry.
Yes.
You're good. If you're a natural leader, you come out one. Don't have to push yourself.
Okay. So we have a few more says hello. Sorry.
What's that?
Rekha says hello. Radhika says hello.
Hello guys. Thanks for watching. I'm very happy that to be able to be given this chance. You know why? Because I want people to appreciate what leadership is all about, how important is leadership, and how we should shape our leadership position basically. So I appreciate that people are listening, and at least I can throw these ideas to you guys.
Awesome point so far, Khalizan. Okay, so you want to go on to the next one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Anand, please. Okay, just hold on a second, and here we go again.
This is Richard Branson. I like him very much.
Oh,
Richard Branson, when I was young, I was staying in Penang, I was staying in Bukit Mentajam not Penang guy Bukit Mentajam is the Paria side. I'm sorry, Paria side of the side Penang is all the high status one all the Masaleh type they live in Penang. So ours is the middle class all the kampung flats
Okay.
But one day I went to Komtar, so then I saw one cassette. I look at the cover, I like so I buy I never heard also the what's inside. Came home, I listened a very strange kind of music. The name of the cassette is Tubular Bells. Tubular Bells, okay? The person who played that whole cassette is one song only. It's actually a continuous. One song lead to another song, but it's continuous both sides. And then there's only one fella who played on that cassette. No, one fella played all the instruments. His name is Mike Oldfield. He played everything. Everything he played. He played layer by layer by layer by layer. And then the person who produced that cassette is Richard Branson. He was not so rich at that point of time. He's not so rich. He was in fact quite a poor guy. He lived in a boat.
Okay.
And then, he managed to rent out a small castle or manor or something like that.
Right.
And then he also got the last money his last money at that point of time. He got a few friends, hippies, But Richard Branson, then Mike Oldfield said, Mike Oldfield passed him a copy of whatever he's done.
Right.
So Richard Branson listened and he said, I like this thing. Let's go and produce this.
Right.
Then Mike Oldfield come up with the list, I want to have a grand piano. I want to have electric guitar. All expensive stuff. I want to have and finally I want to have a tubular bells. You ever heard of what tubular bells is?
I'm trying to imagine in my head what tubular bells is. Is it something that is straight down?
Yeah, that's right. So he was asking for all this kind of nonsense, and this fella also poor fella, and then you know what he did?
Right.
He got buy,
He went and bought.
He went and bought the thing. So this guy, Richard Branson, did he do a financial forecast? He didn't do financial forecast, Did he calculate? What is your ROI? He asked Mike Oldfield, you give me your ROI first. When's my payback period? Right. What? No, he didn't do that. What he did was, he liked the thing. He liked the thing. He said, never mind, I lose my life, so it's okay. We go and do it. And that cassette became number one. He went up until this fella became so rich. This is the beginning of everything else. That time he was running that Virgin thing, only that one single Virgin thing. He got a record shop. Virgin record shop. Like last time he go to a record shop, got cassette and all that. That kind of record shop he was running. And he was living in the boat. Imagine like living in the boat.
So that was breakthrough time with that music. Tubular bells.
You take calculated bet. It's not a calculated bet. He don't know how to calculate this fella.
Yes.
He passionate only. I like this, I want to do this.
Okay.
His other business is he produced a magazine.
Right.
The purpose of the magazine is to end the war only. This magazine is anti-war magazine. That's all. Nothing else. It's an anti-war magazine.
Right.
You know why he did it? Because to him, he believed in anti-war. That's it. He never calculate so untung rugi or whatever. My break-even point lah. I never calculate one. To him, I must do this. So one of the things that you must do in order to become a leader, or even to lead yourself, you must do what you are. You must know first yourself. What are you? Okay? Then you must do like I'm different from you. You are different from me, but you do what you are. I do what I am. Okay, and this fella did what he is. So he didn't do calculation ever. He only did what he is. This is the most important part lah. You want to lead yourself, so you must do that. Okay, so you must start with why you're doing it. Like for me, I want to end economic slavery. So whatever I do is back to that, back to that one thing that I want to do. For you, it might be different. And never mind lah, it's okay. Maybe you want to make a happier earth or whatever. It's different lah, up to you lah, greener earth or whatever. Maybe that's more suitable for you, not suitable for me. But you must find whatever it is. This is the main thing why you live lah. That's what it is. So if you can come back to that slide just now.
Okay, sure thing.
So now we talk about leader. What is the leader? Leader must lead lah. The job of the leader is he must lead his people.
Yes.
So then the next question is, where is that leader? The leader is not in front of his tribe. The leader must be ahead of his tribe. Because the leader must lead. So he must be ahead. What is the meaning of being ahead? Okay. The meaning of being ahead is this. If you are driving a car and you are driving from KL to Ipoh, your whole passenger maybe don't know the way to Ipoh lah. But you at least you know which direction you must go. Even you don't know the way, you must know, don't go south lah, you must go north. At least you must know that one. You must go on NKVE. Don't go on, the road. At least you must know a bit lah how to get there. So you are ahead, Now, when it comes to leadership, you are moving ahead in terms of time. Time is moving. Whether or not you like it, time is moving.
Right.
And the leader is like the driver of that car who is going from KL to Ipoh. But he's moving not in terms of space. He's moving in terms of time. He must know what I must do for tomorrow. What I must do for day after. You understand? So the leader must be ahead of his tribe. Then he is a leader. If he cannot be ahead of his tribe, don't become a leader. You cannot lead. You're not ahead. You understand? Then you pretend that you just want the position. Back to what I said now, the leadership is not a position. You pretend that you want to be a leader because you want the position. Then you lead the whole thing into the wrong place. This is what happened in Italy, in US, this is coming back to COVID. COVID really show you got bad leadership, you pay with your life, man. Within weeks. Until the whole country can just say, I give up, I don't know what to do anymore.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Okay. Next slide.
Next slide, please.
So just now we said the leader is in front, right? Must be ahead.
Right.
So why is the leader in front?
Yes.
Why must the leader be ahead? So this guy lah, Tumade, everybody respect him because he normally knows a lot of things that we don't know,
Yes.
Like for example, when he did the pegging of the currency, I remember that night I happened to be watching the TV.
Okay.
I saw, why this fella come out on TV one? He was talking about, we must peg our currency to USD. Why is he talking about pegging currency? I also don't understand so much. Why is the finance minister not with him? At least stand behind me or whatever, but he's talking alone. I think at that point of time, have you seen the moon through a telescope or not? You've seen the moon through a telescope, you know what's the meaning of loneliness. No? Because on the moon, there's no life. There's no tree, there's no cat or whatever. There's no bird. There is no wind also. There's no water, there's no wind. If you look at the moon through a telescope, you know how lonely, what loneliness means. You know? At that point of time, this man must have been the most lonely person on earth. Half of the people don't agree with him. Everybody's saying he's mad lah, this, that, and that. And then the other half of the people don't know what he's talking about. Like me lah, at that point of time, I still don't know what he's talking about. So he was the only one who saw that we must do this. Otherwise we die. George Soros was taking left and right at that point of time. Thailand kena, Indonesia kena, Mexico kena, everybody was reeling lah, you know, really hit the knee lah of the economy. So you don't have to hit the body, you hit the currency alone and the whole economy can collapse. So why is the leader ahead of his tribe? He's ahead of his tribe because he knows how to move forward in terms of time. Right? So the leader must lead. So where's the leader position? The leader must be ahead of his tribe. Why is he ahead? Because he knows how to move forward. That's why he should be. Okay. Then, got question there. Salam Tuan Khalizan. I have two questions. As a leader, do you think leaders out there lack empathy? Yeah, some leaders do lack empathy, but then they lack a lot of things. So a lot of leaders don't actually have leadership qualities. So we have to develop our leaders. Like sometimes I posted this one time. Maybe we should lead our leaders so that they know how to lead us. You know, but of course, you as a leader, you have to be in touch with your followers. You must have that empathy, be able to feel your followers. Feel doesn't mean that you must follow your followers. You know, you are the leader. You're not the follower. You're not out there to be popular. You are out there to lead your tribe because you need to lead. Like I said just now, leaders sometimes have got to make some difficult decision. Not popular. But you have to do it. You know, like for example, he gave this second stimulus. He as an old man, he would know already. If I give money to some fella, some other fella didn't give the money also will say, I also want the money. Always but he did it. Why? Because it has to be done. The people are drowning. You have to help these people who are drowning. The other who run their own business and all that, they already got some money. I think last time they already know money. They don't keep their money. It's their fault. Cannot do anything. But you don't have enough money to give to everybody, number one. There might be a second round, third round later on. You cannot give to everybody. Then you can only give so much. You have to select who to give. Everybody will, the whole thing will collapse. So you have to take some unpopular decision. You have to take That's a leader. So, but at the same time, you must empathize. You must know how people feel. I think he knows how people feel, but he's managing it. You know, the best I can do, I do. Basically, that's what it is.
Okay.
Okay, the second one, Richard Branson said, if you take care of the, not employers, I think employees, you take care of the employees, they will take care of the clients. Definitely, I think the first person that I heard is not Richard Branson. I think the first person who said that was Jack Ma. Jack Ma is one person, to me, I have a lot of respect for that guy, you know. Initially, I thought this was a lot of Tawan. I never heard his speech, but I thought he always like to talk a lot, So I said, this fellow cannot. But then when I started to listen what he talked, he combined two very good aspects. The first one, he brings in the ancient wisdom of the Chinese. The Chinese got a lot of ancient wisdom. Okay, so he brings in the ancient wisdom, and then he brings in his modern knowledge also at the same time. He's a computer guy and all that. He knows how to think about IT strategies. That's why he can go. So he can bring these two together. But then he's always guided by the ancient knowledge. And he was the one who said that if I invest in somebody, I don't want to take all the share. You see, in Malaysia, find an investor. The investor put in a little bit of money. Let's say you are still small, so you ask 100,000. Most investors will say, I want to have controlling stake. I want to have 51%. You know, you want to give that fellow 100,000 so you ask 51%. Later on, that fellow you have to ask some more. So give him let him run. You know or not? Then this company can grow. So Jack Ma said, "What? No, I don't want controlling stake. I only want 20%. Like that enough already . Let that fella own the company. You know, I'm going to
Right.
sit down there, I'm going to drink coffee, I'm going to watch him from afar. Who's going to run? Not me, I'm going to run. That fella is going to run.
He's
Let
the one who's going to run.
him lah. So, okay,
Yeah.
so he was the one who said that. And then he also the one who said, number one, you don't have to take care of me. I'm your investor. You don't have to take care of me. You take care of your employee first.
Right.
Then they will take care of every other thing. And to me, that's very important. That right now, we cannot go back to the old way of doing things where the leader is the headmaster. Carry a cane, go and knock the, not everybody on the wrist lah. No, cannot be anymore. Now leaders have to blend together with the followers. Make life livable. But some leaders, one thing, I've been there before, so as a leader, sometimes you shock sendiri a lot, you must remember that. Sometimes as a leader, you shock sendiri will come to you. You must realize that,
Right.
You have all kinds of plan one. Sometimes in the middle of the night, you think of something that you want to plan.
Right.
If you don't control yourself, in the middle of the night, also you start shouting to your employee. Middle of the night, you send them WhatsApp. Middle of the night, you ask them something.
Right.
Cannot, that fellow also got his own life, he got his own family.
Yeah.
So you must also learn to control yourself.
Right.
You cannot learn to control yourself, you cannot lead yourself.
Right.
You cannot lead yourself, how you to lead other people?
Exactly.
So you must ask yourself as a leader, you must be very painfully asking yourself some question. Then only you can become leader. Things that other people don't do, you must be able to do. Including being tough on yourself lah, basically.
True.
Okay, what is your advice to aspiring young leaders out there? This is a good question lah. What is my advice? I already advised ma, but I will repeat it again lah.
Yeah.
Number one is, before you want to be a leader, train yourself first. Get the knowledge, get the experience, and get your value system in place. Okay, get your ethics or whatever that is, get that one in place first. Okay, take your time. It's okay one. Like I said, water will find its own level. If you are good, you can be, like I always put myself on LinkedIn lah. Last time,
Right.
not aware. I always go wearing slippers one. Anywhere I go, I wear slipper, and I show people, hey, I wear slipper ni mah.
Right.
And I tell people lah. Then people ask me, how come you so clever lah? I tell people, I don't like to base one. I like to base. If you want to be clever, you don't base lah like me. So I don't like to base. I actually don't like to base one,
Right.
So and I'm not shy. I'm being myself. The lesson there is not to ask you not to base lah, but you want to follow. So I'm very grateful lah. The lesson there is be yourself. Be yourself.
Okay.
You don't have to be shy about being yourself. So if
Right.
you don't have to be in the haste to become a leader. Take your time first. If you're good, you will be like water. You come to the point where you belong lah, basically.
Right.
So my advice to aspiring leaders is take your time, build up your knowledge, build up your experience, your wisdom lah. Experience is your wisdom. Build up your knowledge and your wisdom, and also build up your value system. Okay, build up your value system. Look at yourself in the mirror often. This is very important lah. Prepare yourself to be a leader first. While doing that, or even if you cannot be a good leader, what the world needs now is also good followers. Be demanding on your leaders. Okay, whether it's opposition leader or ruling leader, be demanding. Whoever call themselves leader, be demanding. That's the whole point. Like I was saying just now lah. So even if I as a leader, I don't go by my position, I know. My followers can ask me, if I ask them, do this, then if they get fed up, they can ask me. I give them the right to ask me, you do yourself lah. You think you're so clever, you do yourself. Then that time I will try and do lah, basically. Then you must apply yourself that skill. A lot of people say we cannot be too clever in everything. You look at this guy Mahathir. I went to see him already. That guy is actually very clever, So a lot of people who are lower than him, some skill level in some GLC and all that, they say, oh, you cannot be too good in everything one. You ask that guy, you ask this old man and see he's good in a lot of things,
Very interesting.
Yeah, that's right. So you must be challengeable. You must be challengeable lah. Of course lah. Then you cannot be good in everything. Of course lah. So then you will come to one point. This one I don't know. Sorry, this one I don't know. This one I don't know. But a lot of things I know. This one you catch me, I don't know one. But a lot of things I know. Then you tell people like that lah, basically. But the point is to become eligible and you take it good-heartedly lah. People challenge you, okay lah. You challenge me, okay, never mind, I'm your leader. You challenge me, next time I also challenge you. Like that, it's okay.
Right. So basically, you also take time to skill yourself all the time, lah, to know new things, to keep up with what's happening, and all.
Yeah. You must. It may take you 10 years. Never mind. Slowly you go up, lah. Slowly you go up. What happened in the countries, you can see, where a lot of people are dying out of COVID because the leaders don't have the knowledge. You must live in a vacuum. No, nobody is going to lead you anymore. You are the leader. Nobody is going to lead you anymore. You cannot depend on your advisor. Either your advisor become your leader. No need for you to become leader. So, in order to exist in that vacuum, you must have certain special knowledge. Not only knowledge that you don't know, but knowledge that you must have the knowledge to differentiate between. You must to know how to find that knowledge that you don't know. Okay. So you may not have that knowledge that you need, but you must have the knowledge of how to find that knowledge that you need. You must know what you don't know. Okay, that kind of wisdom. You must have the wisdom of knowing. I don't know. This thing I don't know. You must have that wisdom.
Right.
You don't have that wisdom, susah sikit lah. That was happened to all these countries. I don't want to do testing lah. Sweden, I don't want to test my people. Susah. Kenapa like that?
So it's like a waiting time bomb there.
Exactly. So we hope lah they can overcome lah. That's it lah.
Okay. So what do you think US should do at this moment? It's a question from Facebook.
What do I think US should do at this moment? The formula is basically I think at the moment they should get people to alienate themselves lah, basically. Like over here we call it a lockdown lah,
Yes.
They don't like it, we call lockdown. Of course in US the culture is different.
Right.
In some cities every city is different one in US.
Right.
Every city is different. You look at San Diego is doing very well. But you look at New York, it's a total disaster lah.
Right.
So they have different cultures, So some cities you don't have to do a lockdown. These people will lock themselves.
Yes.
Like for example, in the world of finance, in Malaysia we have a lot of regulations and a lot of regulators.
Right.
But you go to London, they are a self-regulating market.
Right.
They are mature in that sense. Mature in what? Mature in their brain. In their brain, they're mature. So they can regulate themselves. Don't need to regulate themselves too much. They can regulate themselves already.
Right.
So same thing also. Some cities can regulate themselves, some not. But basically, you have to drive at alienating each other. There's no other cure. There is no cure at the moment. The key thing to eliminate this is to have a cure. Okay, so to me I'm not expounding this to you, but to me if somebody tell me you drink air betik or whatever, I will drink one I give it a try lah. No clinical trial also, never mind. Now anything also I try one
Right.
Okay. So anything sounds feasible lah. Don't say go and makan batu whatever, then it can cure you. But anything that sounds feasible, I will try. So we need to find a cure basically. And our backyard got a lot of things that we never tried before.
Yes.
Who knows some of these things good for antiviral. Let's say for example betik people say it's good for dengue or kind of thing. I don't know how good it is, but people say it's good, and then people say also jambu, that kind of thing. So I don't know worth a try basically,
Yes. Anything is worth a try right now.
Anyway, try. So what we need at the moment is a cure. But barring having a cure, we need to stay away from each other Then the virus cannot grow. You cannot find a new host.
Right.
Old host cannot find a new host. So that fellow will die. So the only thing to do is to isolate each other.
Right.
Okay, so how to isolate each other? Depend on country by country lah. Some country the fellows can isolate each other. No need to tell them to do anything, so they'll do. Then no need to tell them, they'll do by themselves. Some fellows very don't want to listen to people one. Have to force them basically. But that is the only cure. That one is undeniable. That's the only way to stop this thing.
Right.
Like that.
Okay, got it. So one more question from Facebook is about the reason, the government subsidies for when they threw in a lot of help. So the SMEs felt that they've been left out. What do you think about that?
Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, you must be aware out there. Okay, a lot of people are left with only 10 ringgit in their pocket.
Yes. Yes.
A lot of people left with only 50 ringgit in their pocket in a time of crisis. It's not normal time.
Yes.
See, normal time, you got 50 ringgit in your pocket. Normal time, you go out and find a friend.
Yeah.
Maybe you find 10 friends, one fellow will give you another 50 ringgit.
Yeah.
But at that point, you can go out and talk, go and find friends,
Yes.
But now you are locked down and you are left with 50 ringgit. You got a baby there, you got to feed lah.
Yes. Yes.
You must remember there are a lot of these kind of people out there. People reach out to me. A lot of people reach out to me, my friends and all that. So we know there are people like that. There are people who don't have food on the table right now.
Yes.
So people are drowning, drowning people, you have to put the money in their hands.
Yes.
If I give the money to the employer, then I ask the employer to give it to the employee, you think the employer will give one? Some fellow will run away with the money one, I tell you.
Yes. Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So if I were in that position, I will also do the same thing. I give the money to these people first. If I don't do, for example, then these people have to go out and find money. They got nothing to eat, they have to go out and find money.
Yes.
No choice.
Yes.
Then there'll be a worse outbreak.
Yes. Yes.
The whole hospital cannot contain already by that time. All the doctors, not enough beds, and it become worse already.
Yes.
And we don't want people to die lah. Life is sacred. Life is sacred. No, as a leader, number one, you must remember life is sacred.
Correct.
This is all the value things you have to put in the system, regardless of who your God is or whatever. Life is sacred.
Sacred. Yeah. Totally agree.
So you have to protect life. So you have to do it. Even if I were in that position, I will do it. I don't care people condemn you, so I will do it. Okay, having said that, this is a very expensive decision. Yes, this one I agree. It's a very expensive decision. We will be reeling for having done this.
Right.
It has to be done. If you have to reel lah, have to be done. Now, the next thing that we have to do is what, The next thing we have to do, we have to take stock of what is the situation.
Right.
Okay. When we say the life is going to be different now,
right?
Am I just trying to scare the population, or is this the truth? Okay, you have to think for yourself lah. Okay, maybe this Khalizan only is just only want to scare people. I don't know. Okay, never mind. You can say like that. I also will listen to you. It's open for contention.
Right.
But I ask you, 2 months from now, who wants to go into an LRT pack like last time? Who wants to go? Raise up your hands. I don't think you want to go into LRT anymore.
Yeah.
Or if you work in an office on the 48th floor, like I do.
Right.
I have to take the lift,
Yeah.
Normally the lift, I go in the lift, got 10 fellas, 20 fellas in the lift.
Yes.
Now I see 2 fellas, I don't want to go in anymore. So, and I'm not alone. Other people also don't want. Other people see Khalizan is there, so he don't want to go in. So, life is going to be different from now. Is that correct? Not correct. Up to you lah. I mean, we have that's where leadership will come in. Leadership has to define for us.
Right.
I think life is going to be different from now.
Right.
How do we accommodate that kind of difference?
Yeah.
If we cannot get out of the house, we have to work from home for a longer period of time. Then how are we going to change our life?
Right.
And then we have to summon people and tell them lah. A lot of old people, for example, what they say is I'm not computer savvy and I don't want to learn computers lah.
Right.
Okay. But you see in our population, like because I'm old I know a lot of old people in our population. I think 20%, 30% lah.
Right.
So if they depend on pension, not everybody got pension one. Number one. Depend on EPF, 5 years gone already that money. Yeah, you invest there, then the thing koyak lah, so gone that money. So you still, after 5 years, you still need to find money. So you need to follow the trend. If you have to do e-commerce, or you have to do something online, you have to do something online.
Right.
Okay, no difference. So then you need to lead people lah. Lead people and say, look, now it's time for you to learn a bit of a computer. Then people don't have computer, how do we help them? Got people don't have computer one. So we can say, oh, must go online, but this fellow also computers don't have how.
Right.
So this is where we need to do the changes. So
Right.
first you come up with the stimulus, yes, because these people need to live. They only got 10
Right.
ringgit in their pocket. They have to live one.
Yes.
Give
Yes.
that kind of money.
Fair
Number
enough. Yeah.
number two, then at the same time, then you see how the society need to be transformed.
Yes.
Otherwise, forever you're going to give them money, because they
Mm.
cannot transform.
True.
So until come one time, you also don't have money to give anymore.
Yes.
Then die, you also die. Like that. Of course, I
Mm.
appreciate that SMEs also are having problems,
Right.
right? But you must also, it's not a choice lah. The
Yes.
government don't have money to give to everybody.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, this is a statement of truth lah. Okay, you only have enough money for certain thing only. That's all.
Right. They have
Okay.
either money to give A or B.
Furthermore, there's a
Yes.
lot of other incentive for SME. There are loans, there are grants, all these are still continuing. The only thing is that maybe the mechanism for allocating is, still working from home, maybe a bit slow, but there's still all these kind of things, you can try them, basically, all this facility. But the main point you have to accept is that there's not enough money to give to everybody. We need to have some money to run the country. We also need to have some money to maybe have a second round like that.
Right.
And then so it's that station basically. We cannot do a station where we give money to some people and then we also I tak dapat lah, I also want cannot lah like that.
Right.
Let's get back our country on our feet first.
Yes.
Then we can fight again later on. Now we fight, so the whole ship is sinking. All of us also drowning already. In this drowning is very fast, man. This drowning 1 or 2 weeks you can drown already. I can tell you.
Yes.
People will die on the street already.
Correct.
People die on the street, literally will die on the street already.
Right.
In 1 or 2 weeks time. So don't play lah, basically. Let's get united. Put aside our selfishness and let's work together lah, basically. That's it.
True. Okay, we have a question from Nizam Aminuddin from LinkedIn.
Yes.
From a good leader standpoint, will delegation be more of a trust, a loyalty issue, or more of a merit capability issue?
You see, these things are intertwined,
Yeah.
Okay. How do I know that fellow is good?
Right.
Okay. I know that the fellow is good because I know him for a long time. Everybody, all of us also got good point, got bad point. Let's say, for example, I'm still with my schoolmate, primary school, I'm still mixing with them. Secondary school, I know these people for 40 years, 50 years. So I know this fellow is like that one. This fellow is like that one.
Right.
This schools I know.
Right.
So when we know people like that, we know how to tailor the work,
Yeah.
This fellow, you don't go and ask him to work in the morning. He cannot wake up one.
Right.
Or you ask him to work at 2, 3 a.m., he will work. Like that. Okay. This fellow, you don't ask him to, go and do this kind of work. He cannot do but you ask him to do this kind of work, he can do. Like that. So that's one where you, it's not really loyalty lah. Don't depend too much on loyalty. Like I said again, if your organization exists for the sake of protecting the leader,
Right.
the end game will be like chess lah.
Right.
There will only be the king and the rook and everybody all die already.
Right.
The end game, your organization never grow. It's still 64 squares lah. The only thing, everybody is dying already. So loyalty to me don't have a lot of value one. Okay. But then merit also depends on how long you know that guy. Because you read somebody's CV, you can claim a lot of things. Okay, for example, okay, Neza, I give you a tip.
Right.
Your LinkedIn is actually your CV, Because I read your CV, it's just 1 or 2 pages lah. You can claim anything one lah. The only way to know is for me to talk to you.
Right.
I talk to you, I can talk rubbish also. I know you from the way you talk. Also from reading your LinkedIn. You know what? From reading your LinkedIn, that fella creative, but creative got EC or creative got no EC one. Or he's trying to be somebody else or himself. So think of your LinkedIn as your CV. And if you believe in building up your CV, you should build up your LinkedIn. Post whatever that you like and all that. This one help people to know each other. You see, in my LinkedIn circle, my friends, we actually know each other in real life. We are not just online friends. We meet a lot. Before this
Right.
COVID thing, a lot of people come. We meet together, we drink together, and all that. So it's networking in the real sense, basically. If you do that, also you will also build your own network. All right, and then there is where somebody will get to know you better.
Right.
Okay, and from that get to know you better, he will know your strength and your weaknesses better than to
Right.
interview you, better than to read your CV.
Right.
That's where, if let's say for example I have a vacancy, I will
Right.
find somebody in my circle first. Why? Because I know him better than the fellow who sent me a piece of paper. I don't know him.
Yes.
Uh,
Because you know how this person operates already.
correct.
Okay. So Fanny says hello. Just to say hello. She likes the points that you're sharing. Fanny
Thank
from
you very much.
Facebook.
Hi to you too. Take
Okay.
care.
And okay, so I think we can go on to the next slide if you like.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So just now the point is the leader must lead the tribe.
Right.
Okay. Then what do you need to be a leader if you need to lead the tribe? The answer is you must know how to move forward best lah. That means in the tribe, nobody else know better than you how to move forward in time. Okay. So that is the trait that marks a leader. There's a word that describe this lah. The word is vision. You must have vision. This is what a leader must have. Okay. So Steve Jobs says, innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. Yes, this is moving forward. As we move forward in time, we need to be innovative. Because as we move forward in time, our circumstances and our environment will not be the same as today. And so our response also cannot be the same as yesterday. That's where we need to be innovative. It's a requirement, you know. So to move forward, the leader must have vision. And that
Right.
vision requires innovativeness as well, because
Right.
the world will change whereby the old solutions cannot fit anymore.
Right.
Okay, so that's where innovation comes.
Got it.
Some more?
Okay. So yeah, we can go on to the next one.
Okay. So the statement that we saw just now was number one, leadership is not a position,
Right.
but leadership is value creation. So the onus is on the leader to create value by having him or her as a leader. Okay. So just now we define what is a leader,
Okay.
and we define where a leader should be, and we define
Right.
what should a leader do. So how do leaders create value? How do leaders create value? Okay. This one is Genghis Khan lah. He also create value. That's why he became a leader. There's some value that he created. Okay.
Right.
So then, next slide, please.
Next slide.
Okay. How does a leader create value? You see, just now his job is to lead the tribe,
Right.
and he must know how to move forward in time best to lead his tribe.
Right.
So you must be the person who knows the way to move forward best in your tribe. If somebody else knows the way to move forward better than you, for example, he's your advisor, then it's your duty to step down and let your advisor become your leader. It's a combination. Just like I said, you must have knowledge, you must have wisdom, you must also have the ethics, the value system. So if not just the knowledge, let's say your advisor knows knowledge, but he doesn't have the value system or that, then he should be an advisor because you only know knowledge. It's the combination of these three. Who has the best combination, he should be the leader.
Right.
So he must have this combination that can bring his tribe best because he's the one who's pulling the tribe in front. Okay. So
can you share the combination again?
The combination is you must have the knowledge.
Right.
You must have the wisdom. Wisdom and knowledge is different thing, Okay. For example, knowledge means I know how to do artificial intelligence. That's knowledge.
Right.
Wisdom means I know what I don't know. That is wisdom. To know what you don't know.
Right.
Whereas value system means whether you should acknowledge or not that you don't know, that kind of thing. Okay.
Right.
So Peter Drucker said, management is doing things right. That means if I ask you to sail a ship lah,
Right.
you know how to sail a ship, you know how to run the engine, you know how to run whatever it takes to run a ship lah. Basically, you know, a ship
Right.
must run safely, and then
Right.
insure the ship and all that. There's a way how to run the ship lah. So you
Right.
know how to run a ship. Basically, you know how to do things correctly. But leadership is knowing what things to do. You know, you're doing the right things.
Right.
It's above doing things right. For example, you're supposed to sail to Singapore.
Right.
But you sail to Thailand. You sail to Phuket instead of sailing to Singapore, for example.
Right.
So what happened? You might be running the ship correctly, how to run the ship correctly, but you are sailing in the wrong direction. It's better that you sail to Singapore and you run the ship not so correctly, 80% correctly, but at the end, maybe you reach Singapore lah.
Right.
Very inefficiently also, but at the end you reach Singapore. Rather than you run the ship efficiently, then suddenly you reach Bombay or something like that. You're not supposed to go there.
That's a good example.
So leadership is that lah, you know, because you're leading your tribe, you know, you're taking your tribe, let's move forward, go north or go south or go east or go west or go in front or go behind or whatever.
Right.
You are
Right.
doing this thing. So you must know what are the right things to do.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, we don't have any new comments here. So let's go on to the next one.
Okay. So the leader must create value, right?
Yes.
So how does a leader create value? Just now one thing was that lah. Then another one is the leader must be situationally aware. He must be aware of the situation. I learned about this word, situational awareness, from my friends who are fighter pilots in the Air Force.
Okay.
Fighter pilots, they have a word they call situational awareness. So when you are what you call it, flying a plane, you must be aware of all the enemies and your friends around.
Right.
That's situational awareness. They train themselves to become situational aware.
Right.
Now, unfortunately, and in the past we have been accommodating and tolerating this kind of leadership. You know, this is how pathetic we are as followers. We are not demanding enough. You know, some leaders will tell you what's going to happen. This is the kind of leader that we want.
Right.
The thing has not happened yet. Like for example, Dr. Noisham, he already started building the emergency centers. Before the third wave, he already started doing that.
Yes. That's
So
really a lot of foresight there.
That's being forward lah. So they are actually telling us what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right? We don't know. We are the followers, That's why you're the leader. We are not so clever. That's why you're the leader. So you tell us what's going to happen. I would expect that lah, you know. Then some leaders still okay lah. They don't know what's going to happen, but they tell you what's happening lah.
Right.
Still, they can tell you, now there's an outbreak, you know. Now how many people die? Today how many people die? Tomorrow, how many people leave? So at least the leader can tell you what's happening lah. At least better still, we can tell you what's going to happen in the future. Some leaders ask you, hey, what happened? You know, they ask you what happened, you know. And some of our past leaders actually did that. So past leaders actually ask people, hey, you tell me what happened. Bugger, you are our leader, you are behind us. Yeah, you're taking your position for granted, man.
Right.
No, that's why leadership is not position. You have to create value. So how you create value like that lah? You don't ask people what happened. You are supposed to tell people what's going to happen.
Exactly.
But worst of all, this leader didn't know that something happened. No, you can ask people, hey, something happened Then worst case scenario that one. So so to develop that value, to create value, the leader must be able to develop their own situational awareness, just the way my friend fighter pilot, they develop their situational awareness.
Right.
Okay, another example, good example, is we can relate lah. Situation is when you play football. You play football, you not only must look at the ball at your feet, you must look around you. Hey, who to pass? This fella is there, that fella is over here. Somebody is coming trying to attack you, somebody coming from behind. That is called situational awareness.
Right.
While you're focusing, you're taking the ball where you're going. At the same time, you must also be aware what's happening around you. So whether it's time to pass already, pass to where, which direction, all that. So
Right.
you as a leader, you must have that kind of skill. You don't have that kind of skill, you develop that kind of skill.
Right, right. In fact, nowadays we hear this buzzword about situational awareness quite a bit among the leadership circle, right?
Good lah, good,
Yeah,
good that they are aware that you need to have situational awareness. That's very good.
right, right. That's a good explanation there. You want to go on to the next one? Next slide.
Sure, can. Okay. So just now the leader know where to go,
Yes,
where to go forward. North,
right,
south, east, west. But now the
right.
leader must also know how to go. Should you go by
Mm,
sea? Should you go by air? How much food you must carry with you? Must
right,
you cycle or walk or take a car or whatever? So one of the things that leader must have is not only conceptual strategy and all this kind of stuff. They must have the capacity to translate that vision into reality.
right.
That is not easy, because we
Mm,
are asking people who want to become leaders two things. Number one, you must be able to think in abstract terms. You must be able to conceptualize,
right.
strategize conceptually,
Mm,
ideas.
right,
That's idea, the idea side. Now, at the same time, we're asking you, having ideas alone not enough. No. Now, you must know how to translate that into reality. I'm asking you this as well from you.
right.
This is being very demanding on our leaders.
Mm,
But you can get this kind of leader who knows both how to strategize and also how to make that into a reality. That is where you have like this one lah, the Menara last time. That place was a race course. What? Last I remember my time
yes,
last time.
yes,
That
yes, yes.
was
The
a
Twin
race
Towers.
course. I was working in PNB building that time, and behind
Right,
my office, there's a people going keep the horses lah. There every day also we see the horses walking
right, right, right.
into this place. But then we can translate into this real thing.
Okay.
And then from this lead to other, now got other buildings taller than this also.
Right.
How to translate into reality lah, basically. Back to that just now we're talking about the pegging of the currency.
Yes.
Okay, that time Tun Mahathir was the only one, talking for
Right.
himself.
Right.
The world is against him. The other half of the world, like me, I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, but so it's up to him to do it. Up to him to tell people how to do it. People also don't know how to do it. It's up to
Right.
him to how to do it. Okay, so he know what to do, and then he know how to do. A lot of people say, oh, our currency is falling down. Why don't we
Yeah.
peg the currency again?
Right.
Why don't we peg the currency? You think easy can peg the currency? I give you an example, okay? You know how much Marlboro is? Last time when I was in school, I smoked Marlboro lah. All my friends, we do smoke Benson or Dunhill one, all high class one.
Right. Right.
But buy one box can lah, buy one Marlboro, not every day.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
how much is Marlboro now? Marlboro is 17 ringgit, something like that lah.
Right. Yes.
Now Khalizan, I come up with my own cigarette.
Mm.
I call it Cap Ayam. My cigarette is Cap
Okay.
Ayam.
Okay.
Then I put my cigarette in the mamak store there.
Right.
I said my cigarette I pack to Marlboro. Marlboro is 17 ringgit. I also want my cigarette to be 17 ringgit. Put lah 17 ringgit. Who wants to buy my cigarette?
Yeah.
Who wants to buy? People buy Marlboro. I don't buy my cigarette.
Right.
So you put your ringgit at the same price as USD. You think everybody want to buy the ringgit? No reason for them to buy the ringgit. There's reason for people to buy the USD.
Right.
Because when you want to trade in oil, you have to trade in USD. Or
Right.
you want to buy pharmaceutical, or you want to buy some technology, or you want to pay for something to US, and US control the technology and all that. You see, we are running on Windows, we are running on Linux, we are running on whatever. A lot of these things are happening in US.
Right.
Buy those things to get USD.
Right.
Okay? So there is demand for USD, even though it's not backed by goods, backed by demand for their goods and services.
Right.
Our currency got that kind of demand for our goods and services. It's just like Khalizan go and put his Cap Ayam cigarette lah. Next to Marlboro, he said my cigarette is 70 ringgit. Put lah.
Right.
Who wants to buy one?
Yeah.
Easy, you can pack, this currency. Nobody will want one. Okay, so it's not easy that when Tun Mahathir did the pegging, I think until now, so not a lot of people appreciate how difficult it was to do.
Yeah. It was a totally lonely decision.
So that is how a leader create value. Number one, he knows where to go and he knows how to go there.
Right.
And to get this kind of leader who knows both of these things is a blessing lah, basically. Not easy lah to get this kind of leadership.
True.
I think at present our government also is showing that not only they know what to do, but they also know where to go.
Yeah.
This is the one thing that I like, about Malaysia. I think we should take pride about this in Malaysia. You know why or not?
Yeah.
You talk about another country in the world,
Right.
somebody come and say, I want to become the Prime Minister lah.
Right.
Then people will have riot, people fight each other lah, come out in the street and this fellow bash that fellow bash this fellow.
Yes.
Here in Malaysia, somebody come and say, hey, I want to become Prime Minister lah. I'm your Prime Minister already. What do we do? What do? We go and take picture, we go and create all kind of funny story, we go and send on the Twitter lah, send on Facebook lah, all kind of funny story, we have WhatsApp. Then what do? We just sit down only, never fight. So never mind lah, you want to do, become lah. Never mind, it's okay one lah. Whoever so can become lah. So this is the unique value of Malaysia. We don't care, we don't fight one lah. Actually, people say we don't fight one lah.
Right.
And because of our peacefulness, this fella got a chance to actually show himself. Imagine we are fighting and all that. Now, until now, so we have been fighting with among ourselves and we are fighting with the COVID. Imagine if we had been fighting with each other, what happened to us right now? What happened now? Now we are fighting. We are not prepared for the COVID yet. Suddenly the COVID come from behind us like that,
Yes.
Like hantu like that come behind us already.
Correct.
Luckily, we are not fighting, This fellow want to come to become leader. Never mind lah, you become lah, it's okay one. We just do joke and then we keep quiet. Suddenly after a few weeks, he got this slow thing. After a few weeks, he started to do things already. And now we can see that he knows what to do and he also knows how to move forward, which is good lah, basically.
Yeah, we can see that.
That way lah. I'm not ultra anybody. I don't simply just go and sokong that fellow because he's party or whatever.
Yes.
In fact, if a multi-party system work for us better, okay, we don't have to vote for the party. We have to vote for the people. The people doesn't belong to the Christmas party. He belongs to the Halloween party or birthday party. Never mind, it's okay one. So maybe it's that way. But I even with that mind frame, I'll say that the present leadership is good lah. Basically, I think everybody appreciate our rate of death is very low. Now it's 1.5%.
Right.
In the entire world, who else got 1.5%? All the top countries with all the best healthcare, they got that kind of low figure. We don't have the best healthcare, our hospital like how one. And then we started off with COVID, our doctors cut up their own plastic bag, go and do this thing by themselves. Then this Bulan Sabit Merah go and sew their own. Like that lah, we help each other. Still we are making it. So I think we can let's continue doing that lah, basically as a nation. Okay. Then how does a leader create value again? Okay. You cannot instruct your workers to do things, You cannot send an email to everybody, hey, you fella start doing this, or you fella stop doing this. No more. Now you have to treat your people as people who are clever. And sometimes they are cleverer than you,
Right.
In some ways. Maybe they don't have the combination. They don't have the knowledge, they don't have the wisdom, and they don't have the value system up to your level. So that's why you are a leader. But they are also clever, they're not stupid.
Right.
The way forward is for you to inspire people instead of forcing people to do.
Yes.
So this is what, again, Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs got a lot of this kind of talk one.
Right.
Steve Jobs say management is to persuade people to do things they don't want to do. So you persuade lah. You threaten them, or you send an angry email, or you wake them up in the middle of the night, you go and shout at them on the phone, or whatever lah. You offer them a salary or bonus or whatever. You persuade them to do, they don't want to do, but you persuade them to do.
Right.
But leaders is to inspire people to do things they never thought they can do one, this thing. Never in my life I thought I can do this,
Okay.
Leadership. When I was 24, I so happened to have the chance to start a stockbroking firm lah. Not for myself, but for my bosses.
Right.
Imagine I was 24,
Right.
I never even worked in a stockbroking firm before.
Right.
Then just a bunch of us, we started with 45 fellas.
Right.
And we grow into 450 fellas.
Right.
And then over 3 years, we became the top 10 stockbroking firm. Top 10 means you look at value and volume, we're top 10.
Right.
We didn't sleep, you know. I work day and night in the office. I come to work on Monday, I go back on Saturday.
Right. Right.
Until I got no shirt to wear. Saturday morning got management meeting, I got no shirt. I put on the coat and inside the coat got no shirt. So but I've seen people can do things that they never thought in the first place they can do. It can be done one. Even yourself also, you'll be surprised. Before you do the thing, you think that it's impossible. But after you think, you ask yourself, hey, how can I do that? I've done some things before in my life. Even now, if I think so, wow, I don't believe I can do that. Even I've done so, I don't believe I can do it. But it can be done.
Right.
So don't be afraid of things that you think you cannot do.
Right.
Don't be afraid of shadows. I see a lot of Malaysians afraid of shadows. You know.
Right.
We are afraid of shadows, and number two, we are like, we have a lot of PhDs and a lot of fellows who are very clever. And then when you give them something, they analyze end to end until the end of the earth to analyze why it cannot work.
Right.
See, if we, like my friend, he told his lawyer, the lawyer said, this one cannot, that one cannot. And he said, listen, I also know this thing cannot do. Okay? If I want to know that this thing cannot do, I won't hire you, ma. You tell me how I want to modify this thing until the thing can do. Right. If you want to show how clever you are, you just say this thing cannot do, that can do. That's not clever, ma. That's just saying cannot do. I also got, ma. I went into board meeting and stuff like that,
Right.
and then the board members say this one that jangan comment. I tell straight up, I tell whoever was in that board meeting, I'm telling you the truth, I told the fellow, hey, you fellas, if I want to show I clever, I also can do like you, ma. You don't do anything, one. You just come to meeting, you just comment only. I also can do that.
Right.
What do you contribute to the meeting? You don't bring anything, ma. You just comment only. I also can do that, ma. I know how to show my that I'm clever, no.
Right.
I think member of the board so got resigned one. I tell you. There are some things I'm very passionate one. I'm very passionate about poor leadership because we need to have these good leaders. We really need to have these good leaders, basically. I'm very passionate about, poor leadership, basically. That's what it is.
Awesome. Okay. So, and then can we go on to the next one?
Yeah, that's right. Okay, this is another thing that leaders must. A lot of leaders just now. Farisha asked about. I think one empathy. I think Farisha also asked. So the other thing that you have to do as a leader, sometimes you must remember your tribe can go down, and they can be tired. For example, they can be so tired. Like you can see the doctors and all that. They're also tired. After a while, then they're so tired, and then they see their friends all getting sick, and then they don't see their families. They can get demoralized. Okay, you remember this? Moses, you think of Moses. Moses led his tribe out of Egypt. Okay.
Yeah.
Who are his tribe? His tribe are people who build the pyramid. So I imagine people who build the pyramid. You know how big the stones are? Very big one.
Huge stones.
These fellas are all big size fellas. All the muscle. I think they're at least like the wrestler and all that kind of stuff
Right.
Not small and pretty people like me. They must be very big and muscular.
Right.
So he got thousands of these people. He managed somehow to convince these people, hey, let's leave this place and go find somewhere else.
Right.
You imagine doing that in your organization. You talk to your friends, let's leave this place. This management is not good. Let's leave this place. Somebody will come up and to choke you from behind, for sure. Sure, some office politics will come out already. Somebody will report to the management or take a recorder or something like that. Show the management, you see this fellow useless one, and kick him out.
Yeah.
This fellow was bringing it to the Pharaoh. Easily he can get killed one. For sure, out of his thousands and thousands of followers, somebody also play the dirty politics to him.
Right.
But God told him, you go and take this fellow out. So he had to do This is the number one boss. Number one, whatever it is, you must take this fellow out. So he take this fellow out. Okay. Does he know where to go or not? He don't know where to go.
Right.
He just run only. Run. Tell his fellows, you got to keep up. Believe in God. Believe in God. Have faith. Run with me.
Right.
Imagine how many days we're running. Running until they reach the Red Sea, And then the Pharaoh was following from behind some of with his army.
Right.
There's nothing to have faith in at that point of time.
Yeah, it's terrible times. Terrible times.
Nothing to have faith on. You know that, you know, if you think by logic, show that one. In front of you, the sea,
Right.
until where? Until he reached the edge of the sea, Until he come to the edge of the sea. Imagine that. Nowhere else to go.
Right.
What does he do? He keep on uplifting his stride. Keep on believing. You know or not?
Right.
That Journey song, what did he say? Keep on believing. Something like that. There's a band called Journey. Yeah. So, keep on believing. So he was telling his people, keep on believing. Now his tribe are not small fellas.
Right.
If he cannot deliver easily, that fella will tear him apart from end to end. 3,000, 4,000 fellas. He can be big size, but all the fellas are big size.
Yeah.
When he reached the Red Sea, luckily God also fulfilled his promise. He allowed the sea to open up. But all the while he was uplifting his tribe.
Yeah.
And there can come to a point, because we don't have that kind of magic, of course. Prime Minister don't have that kind of a tongkat, for example, can wave and then suddenly all the virus go out. Sometimes we have to give the bad news to people.
Right.
We have to give, the bad news. We cannot lie to them. We
Right.
cannot say Ramadan is going to be back to normal. Cannot want that. If we keep on lying to people, there's a hope that Ramadan is going to become normal. People will not be prepared for an abnormal Ramadan, and Ramadan will be our biggest killer. When people cannot accept the fact that Ramadan is not going to be the same as, it's going to kill us already. Okay, so we have to prepare them from now that this Ramadan is not going to be the same. If we happen to be wrong, good lah. We are wrong on the good side. We admit error on the good side. But if we are wrong on the bad side, we are gone, man. People still go for the Pasar Ramadan and like that lah. And Hari Raya also same thing. Then people still want to go back balik kampung. End of the story lah that time. So it has to deliver the bad news right now. You have to be prepared. It's not going to be the same. Okay, don't do this. You do this, you're going to kill us, No, we spend billions, hundreds of billions trying to achieve what we achieved today. Hundreds of billions we spend. Then it come back to the same point and happen to the same thing again, like we never spend the money. How many times we cannot afford to spend this kind of thing? Cannot afford to spend. Then we just have to leave people to die lah. And then, you know what is happening to the plantation industry? Before this thing happened, the plantation industry got not enough workers. That's why we have to bring in illegal, especially in Sabah Sarawak, you have to bring in. Because there's nobody who wants to work in plantation anymore. You pay how much, they don't want to work. Indonesia, they got big plantation over there. No need to leave their wife, no need to leave their children. They can find work there.
Right.
Bangladeshi, they never see also what is palm tree. In the first place, the palm oil they never see in their life also. Plug the tree, how to plug the FFB. You have to know the FFB, green color, red color, or bright red or dark.
Right.
The same thing also. If we lose this chance, then our doctors get sick and our nurses get sick. They come to a point where you have all the money in the world, so you not enough people you can pay nobody to work anymore. So you have to be serious about that. So while you have to release the bad news to the people, at the same time you have to uplift the people lah. You have to say, we are doing this. This is the right thing to do. Believe in me lah. This is the right thing to do. If we don't do this, then it's going to get worse for us. Then we may come to the point where there's no hope for us anymore. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. Okay? So that job of uplifting the followers is not easy. It's a very difficult.
Correct. You have to tell the difficult thing upfront early on.
Even in a good time, this is the opposite side. Even in good time, you must tell your followers, don't be too euphoric, don't be too overconfident. It's easy to fall on, The higher you go, the higher you fall. Easy to fall on. Anybody who plays stock, Anybody who plays stock, I got he lost 5.5 million in one day, and that's a small figure. A lot of followers lost more than that. Union paper, anybody who played Union paper last time, lah. So what is the value of leadership? This chart really shows the value. Actually, we should not measure leadership in terms of dollar and cents. The value of leadership is beyond dollars and cents. Okay, it's beyond. But just to show like in terms of dollars and cents, what is the value of leadership?
Right.
Apple has always got strong leadership with Steve Jobs there.
Right.
In fact, you can compare Apple when they had Steve Jobs, and then when Steve Jobs left and started Next.
Right.
And then Next became the animation and this kind of stuff, and then came back to Apple. So during that time, a dry period, for Apple. Now Steve Jobs isn't there anymore. They also become another dry period again, but they've moved on lah. I think the Tim Cook also is quite good because he's worked for Steve Jobs for a long time.
Right.
But it started off in the garage. I remember this was during my times when I was young, so it's like that one. So they came out Apple II. We also got Apple II in my house. Got Apple II, got pineapple, all kind of funny things. Got.
You still have it?
No lah, I don't know where it is anymore. So the good thing was we can open it and we can look. First time in my life. Before that I had a chess computer. Cannot open on the chess computer, but can play lah. But cannot. But this time I can really open the computer and see. Oh, got something inside, and then that time Bill Gates was one poor fellow. He don't know what to do. So what he produced? He produced one card. That card I call Microsoft soft card. You put inside the Apple. Then you replace the Apple got one CPU called a C502. It's using the Motorola C502. But if you want to use that CPU, you can use the Intel 8088 chip, which is on the soft card. The soft card uses a system called CPM, command processor, something like that lah. Gary Kildall, and then suddenly that time Bill Gates was trying to do all kind of things. He came up with mouse lah, he came up with hardware, he came up with this. Don't know what exactly he wants to do. Until when IBM came to see him, that's his lucky break lah. He managed to copy the look and feel of the CPM that was running on his card, and then he produced his own PC and MS DOS.
Right.
So you look at the graph just now. Apple is now $1 trillion company. $1 trillion. Now it's close to $1 trillion. The $1 trillion companies are, number one is Microsoft.
Right.
Number two is Amazon.
Right.
Number three is Apple, very close by. Anytime because stock prices go up and down, so anytime you can go. And with this COVID thing, if life changes, we are going to be dependent on cloud computing. We are going to be dependent on internet more than before.
Right.
So there's going to be a lot of vacancies in terms of computer security, in terms of AI, in terms of robotics. If we can, like say for example Malaysia, we still need people to work with things. Let's say in the warehouse.
Right.
We need people to move things around in the warehouse.
Right.
But in China they got all these robots, They don't need people to do it in the warehouse anymore.
Yeah.
So we need to, let's say for example, we don't want our people to work in the warehouse. We have immigrants who want to work in the warehouse.
Right.
In Malaysia, we have about 20% of our population is immigrant.
Right.
Represent
20%.
20%, about 5 million lah. We have about 30 million, right? So about 5 million is immigrant lah.
Right.
3 to 5 million lah.
Right.
This represent a pool where a reservoir where viruses can breed. Now you have to think of that way anymore. People who live in the world of finance, they think of money. They always see anything, so they see money in it. You see, just like you put your spec, you see a computer, instead of seeing a computer, you see money.
Right.
You put your spec, you see TV, you also see money. That's a world of finance. Now we have to also start to see in terms of virus.
Right.
You see this virus here, this virus. So this 5 million or 3 million people is a reservoir where we can breed virus. Okay?
True.
Not that we don't like them lah. I also got a lot of friends and they last time so they always belanja makan at the surau and all that. They like to belanja people makan lah.
Right.
But the thing is they are, objectively speaking, they are reservoir virus.
Right.
Now number two is that they are, it's the culture, it's the way of life or the way they do things. Now if you walk around town, you see there are two types of people. One are our own people. They're very careful. We keep our mouth, we walk, keep our distance, wear gloves. And then you see the other half, which is them lah. You ask them not to pray Friday prayer, so they go and pray Friday prayer. Then they go for the public thing, so other people own up, they don't want to own up. They go and hide.
Right.
You see? So this pool of because of the behavior, because of the cultural differences, they are at high risk of becoming actually a real breeding ground. From suspected breeding ground, they have got that high risk of becoming a real breeding ground.
Mm.
So, do you need to have these people around? Okay, if you think objectively,
Yeah, right,
you need to have these people around. Not the shop are all closed. So maybe we need lah, because why? Because our warehouse got no robots.
right,
We need people to work in the warehouse. We still need people to work
right,
in the market.
right.
You go to shop also. Who are the workers? Immigrants, so right?
Yeah,
Guard also, immigrants, so
right.
some we still need, but some we don't need anymore. Construction, all then we have to think like whether it's worthwhile not for us to keep this reservoir here. This high risk reservoir, they are not like us. They are high risk reservoir because of their cultural differences from us.
Right, right,
Or we should ask them to go back lah first.
right.
Of course, when let's say for example the situation improve, that time we need them back, then we have to bring back, and then by bringing them back, we also bring another risk because we have sent them back. They have mixed around over there, then they bring back the risk over here.
Right.
But what if the situation does not the difference does not revert back to the old situation? What if the situation continue like that? We are not going to need them anymore.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of things you have to think about. So again, that is leadership. That is leadership in the vacuum. Leaders, you must also exist in the vacuum. That's why you look at all these great leaders. You look at Buddha. Where did he get his enlightenment? He get his enlightenment under the Bodhi tree.
Yeah.
He went back to live in his so-called vacuum.
Right.
He removed himself from society, live in the vacuum, and then he got his inspiration.
Right.
Epiphany.
Right.
Now we go down to Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus' first sermon is on the mountain.
Yeah.
First of all, he went to the river and he got baptized.
Right.
Okay, by John the Baptist.
Right.
And then he went up the mountain for a few days in the wilderness. It's not mountain, it's wilderness.
Right.
Where the devil tried to tempt him 3 times. After that, he passed the test already. Only he come back and he gave his first sermon.
Right.
The first sermon that says power to the poor and this kind of thing. Power to the meek shall inherit the earth,
Right.
So the Beatitudes is called the Beatitudes. So he also transformed into something when he isolated himself in that wilderness. Yeah. And if you read the Bible, what Jesus normally does, daytime he's always out lah. He go and talk to people. He go and heal people. He like to go and heal people. Saturday also he go and heal people. That's why the people got angry with him because he Saturday also don't know how to observe the Sabbath. But then he said, my position, I can do what I like. You don't talk to me. But he daytime he go there. But nighttime what does he do? Nighttime here. First of all, he like to eat He like to eat bread and fish. This one I know. He don't like to eat vegetable one. He like to eat bread and fish. Every time so bread and fish. Not curry fish, broiled fish.
Right.
Over that time, but he always eat broiled fish. Then unleavened bread. But nighttime, what does he do? Nighttime he go up the mountain. Always you go find one mountain, he go up one.
Right. Solitude.
Then he live. He goes back to. That's why I said the leadership. I got 2 sides of the coin. One is the world that you can see the leader in. The other side is the world that you don't see the leader in. We see, for example, our Prime Minister, we see him in public his public face.
Right.
What we don't see, I bet what I'm saying is true but we don't see his prayers and all that, How he can appear in public, but inside him he's praying,
Right.
He may have all the strategies, he may have all the convictions, he may have the advice and all that. This is the way we should do, but his inside is still praying. I hope what I'm doing is true. I hope you will support me, God.
True.
I'm sure he's praying that. I'm sure he's praying all the time. I hope you will support me, God. You don't pull the rug under my feet. I'm sure he's doing that. This is his other side that we don't see. And every leader got that. That's why people say the job of leadership is a very lonely job.
Right.
Why lonely? It's lonely because number one, you have to have a public face. As a leader, you meet your people, you must understand them, you must empathize with them, you must live their life. and you must communicate with them. You have to coordinate them. You have to inspire them. You have to do a lot of things with your leaders, with your followers. Okay, but at the same time, inside you, you have another life. You know, you're talking to God. You're talking to your values. Okay, this aspect nobody knows. It's like you are suffering, but nobody knows you're suffering. That's why it's so lonely. You know, if you are lonely but you don't go out and talk to people, it's not so lonely.
Right.
You are lonely and you're talking to people, it's really lonely. As a leadership is a very lonely job. Okay, so if you want to be a leader, prepare yourself. Don't be hasty. Right? Water will find its own level.
Yeah.
So that's the last part lah, basically.
Right. So
think differently. Always think differently.
okay.
Don't be afraid to think differently. That's it.
So
all the while I show to people my
Yeah.
trademark is I always wear my trousers, I lipat until the lutut.
Yes, I noticed.
And then I wear slippers. I tak malu kan I wear slippers and also I wear slippers.
Right.
And then I tell people I tak suka mandi. What does that mean? That means don't be afraid of being different. Be yourself. Don't be afraid of being different. It's okay. You're different. It's okay, man. Just be yourself. So do what you are.
Right.
Not just you are what you do, but do what you are. So you have to find yourself, search yourself, find yourself, and you want to be a leader. Do what you are. First, lead yourself. First, do it.
Right. Okay. So thank you very much, Khalizan, for this very entertaining and insightful presentation.
I thank you for the opportunity also to speak my mind. I hope it helps our nation and our people to survive in this very challenging times that requires a lot of basically a changing mindset and all that.
Yes. So I've already a lot of friends have actually messaged me on my WhatsApp and told that this is something different. This presentation is something different. You speak from your heart. Straightforward, unplugged. And very interesting personality. So I think a lot of them enjoyed this one. Okay, so just one last question. Let me just see. Okay, from Zali, right?
Zali, the elephant guy, is it?
Okay, let me see. He said, like planning an impromptu ambush, you apply the stop approach, stop plus think plus observe. Zali from LinkedIn, right? Can you see the last question there?
Yeah.
Okay. Zalimin.
Okay. Zali is asking whether the stop approach can be applied or not.
Right.
Stop approach first requires you to stop.
Right.
Then you take some time to think.
Right.
And then you observe. Then you plan what to do.
Right.
Okay, just now you saw my slide. You have to be situationally aware.
Right.
Of course, I agree with Zali. Sometimes you have to stop and think. You have to pause first and think and plan and all that.
Right.
But sometimes you don't have the time,
Right.
When we had this COVID, initially I was really angry. You follow my post in the past. I was a very angry person.
Right.
Because nobody was doing anything about it.
Right.
And it was very clear at that point of time. First of all, there was this tablik.
Yes.
Suddenly the Penang thing also. Second one. Then
yes.
First part already, got to it. Suddenly the government servant himself go and do this exhibition.
Right.
Cannot say anything anymore. The people do that is one thing, but you are the leader in the government, so you can do this thing. And some more, yours is like 10 times the size of the public thing. You expect so many people to come.
Yes, correct.
So that time I was really angry. I thought that nobody is doing anything.
Right.
Okay. So there is also a danger in that. Stop.
Yes.
Think, plan, and whatever. Observe. You have to observe on your feet. Sometimes, sometimes you can Sometimes you're not stopping. You have to stop. Sometimes if you really have to do it because you're not stopping. You have not spent your time observing. You have not spent your time analyzing. You have to pay the price. What's the meaning of paying the price? You have to stop first, because you never did your work yet.
Right.
So it's better that you stop and do your homework than for you to proceed not doing your homework at all.
Right.
But the right thing to do is you have to keep on doing your homework while you're doing other things at the same time.
Right.
You have to be situationally aware while you're doing some other thing also.
Right.
Okay, so you must plan while you're doing other thing. You must already do the planning. You must already do the observation. You must already do the thinking. I know you're doing other things at the same time, but you must also still do this thing because you don't have time to stop and pause anymore under some circumstances. That's what I'm saying. So right now, for example, I give a very clear example. Okay, this is your take home. Okay, do you think that the world will come back to the same world that we knew? Do you think that's going to happen? We can go back and work like before. Do you think that's going to happen or not? Okay, you look at US. How many people got infected? Okay, and this infection, you look at Europe. Let's say US and Europe become an epicenter of the epidemic. So from US and Europe, you can move to another place. From another place, can move to Malaysia. So forever, our border got to be guarded. Okay, you don't jaga. In 1 week, you can grow from 7,000 to 100,000. 1 week, 10 days is all it takes. So easily, you can lose your position. Easily. So I think we are going to go back to the life that we had before. Go back and think carefully. Okay. So whatever the answer is, then you think, how are you going to respond to it? What are the changes you need to do? Okay. A lot of people are still dreaming. They're still saying, oh, never mind lah, we can lah, it's okay lah. Wait and see lah, you can or cannot. Wait and see lah. It's not Khalizan talking, this is reality talking. So this is your take home lah, basically. Okay. So from there, this is another situation where maybe we don't have time to stop, observe, and think anymore. Now, a good follower does not leave everything to the leader. This is called delegating upwards. I also last time I don't want to do things, I pass to my boss. So, the good thing to do, sometimes it's a good thing to do. But you cannot pass everything to your leader. You have to do on your own also. If let's say, for example, you have to learn a bit of, let's say, for example, data science job is a lot. I can tell you there's a lot of job for data science. And it's going to grow because of this internet thing. So you want to learn data science. Don't wait for the leader to come up with a program, to pay money, give data science lesson for free. Go to Udemy, pay 50 ringgit, go and learn, spend some time, do what you can lah. What the leader have given to you, take it and run with it. Okay, don't leave everything to the leader. That fellow also can get tired, He's also human, not robot. Like that, basically. Like I think I wrote to somebody, I forgot who is it. I said I expect my leaders to be like Superman and Iron Man lah. Batman, I think. Then that fellow said, Shuko, he's a professor. Shuko, professor. Shuko is my classmate since we were schooling. Last time we were in the same primary school. So I told him because he's a professor, so I like to catch out him a bit lah. So I said, no, I expect my leader not to be like normal human. I expect my leader to be Iron Man and Batman. Then I said, our leaders are human, they're not superheroes. You cannot expect that. I said, hey, Iron Man also human ma. I look at the movie, he's human also. Then Batman also human. But don't expect them to be superheroes. Our leaders are not superheroes. So you have to also take the baton and run. You help yourself. The leader wait for the leaders to help, but you also must help yourself. That's it lah. Basically, you think of yourself that question. I leave that as your take home. Think of yourself that question. Think of how you're going to respond, and do something about it lah. Basically, help yourself, help your family, right? And help to guide others as well who don't see. If you got friends, take up the leadership and help them to see. All right.
Okay, Zali, I hope your question has been answered. Right, that was a very, very nice answer. And Khalizan, thank you so much for being with us today. We really, really, really enjoyed. I think we had a very different point of view on the leadership side. I think any last words before you want to finish?
No, I just want to thank you guys for listening. The ranting of an old guy. Thank you very much.
Old and experienced guy. All right. So we have some viewers who have been watching from the first point. It is already now 2 hours, and we still have viewers who are watching closely. Thank you again, all the viewers. Thank you for being with us, and thank you, Khalizan, again. Hope to see you again another round. All right.
So take care, guys. Take care. It's a very challenging time. Take care. Take care of yourself and your family.
Thanks,
Bye.
Khalizan.
Good night.
Bye. Good night. Khalizan, you can just stay on the line lah.